Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paladins Open Bracket Qualifiers. My name is Rain Day, and this is Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. It's time to get into the action for the finals. But before we do, we've talked about this a lot this weekend, but there is a public test server that's up and available for you to try out your legendary cards and see which ones are going to be yours, what your main champions are getting, and what kind of variety you'll be able to build into them with this new system coming forward next week. So make sure you go in there, go to forums.paladinsgame.com and give them some feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and see if your contribution can be impactful as we head into this new phase. It's going to be exciting stuff.
Yes, sir. But here we are in the finals now for the Open Bracket Qualifiers here. Burrito and District 69. For those of you that may not be familiar with this team, these are two bitter rivals in Europe. They are constantly in the finals. For as long as Paladins Esports has existed, pretty much, these two have been going at it week after week in the finals. Burrito banning away Timbermill, Fish Market, the selection for District 69. Stone Keep will be the selection for game number 1 in the champion draft. I think it's going to be very interesting because I like that Burrito likes Maeve and have never really played the Torvald, whereas District 69 now have played Torvald, but I don't think I've ever really seen them play Maeve.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think we've seen a lot of
I think we've seen PERDO's Maeve once.
And I personally don't think we've seen a lot of Burrito and D69 really just say, we are the Maeve people. You know, Burrito this weekend has been really just showcasing in their last set. We like Maeve a lot, but that's really been the only time we've seen, yes, Maeve. It's got to be. They played it last weekend a little bit, but now it seems to be more of a staple of their first 3 picks that they're going to. It used to be last pick for them when they were playing on Frog Isle and such. So it begins now. Ruckus is here. Will Maeve be here as well? This will be a telltale sign. And there she is. So
I was going to ask the question, did they just take it because they know it's a big thing to get off of Spunky?
Yeah.
Or in Croter as well, because he was also playing that, but showing that it is going to be an impact play for them. It is going to be something that they want to get either Leminate or Laizy on, and having the flexibility with the character as well to be able to put it on one of 2 guys is also bringing a lot of value to the table, because you could still put Laizy on the Eevee, you could still put Leminate on the Cassie or the Androxus, so just opening up space for them during the draft phase.
Absolutely. Torvald, he's going to be selected as well. They bring Torvald again, and so we are seeing these two teams kind of go back and forth with their ideologies, right? We like Torvald. We love the shields. You're going to try and take these 1v1s, but again, Maeve's going to be mitigated a lot of the times if we're able to smartly protect with that bubble our teammates who you're trying to go after. And they've got a Drogos that we can expect to perform well, whereas, you know, Interlopers really didn't have that. Unfortunately, though, on this side, we see Shaolin and Maldamba selected away from D69, and them go into the Barrack.
So no Fernando.
Very surprising stuff here.
No Fernando at all. So I think the reason we saw Maldamba go last for Burrito is because District 69 were setting up for this Barrack pick. So the Ying is something that pairs a little bit, I think, better with Barrack, just to make it just a nightmare on the point, right? There's just so much stuff to shoot at. And frankly, Burrito don't have a great way to deal with it. They don't have any blaster damage. They don't have anything really AoE. They have the Dread Serpent on the Maldamba. That's going to be their best bet outside of a Hexafire or an Ancient Rage going in and just cleaving everything down. But Leminate will be on his Maeve. Thiel will be on Makoa. Laizy on Shaolin. Bonkar on Ruckus, and Bird rounding things out on Maldamba.
And on D69, it will be PERDO on Cassie, gerrah on Ying, eLvenpath on Torvald, and bugzy on Drogos, with Shipa rounding things out. Master Riding, great selection for Barrack. He's going to get to the point quickly. Very important for Barrack to kind of get set up with those turrets and create his home first.
Bulldozer there for Laizy. So this Shaolin going to be very effective at taking out these Barrack turrets and these Ying clones in one shot, despite the Forged Alloy 3 that were probably 3 or 4 that we might be seeing come out of Shipa to make those turrets very tanky. Shaolin is just going to one-shot them.
And great positioning as well by Shipa. Hasn't found any focus yet, so you can kind of tell where's the pressure. It is all on Burrito at this moment. Thiel actually not able to get that hook successfully, so that's another 10 cents in the pocket. And PERDO just putting insult into injury, cleaning up Laizy on the Shaolin. Bugzy still in the air, a salvo towards Bonkar. If he's able to do his job, Bonkar will not be surviving very long. A great fire spit as well. It's going to put Thiel under pressure. 2 direct shot rockets, 3 direct shot rockets onto Thiel. That's 4, and he hits Maeve a little bit in the air as well. One shot almost hits it, my God! But Leminate's able to clean up Bugzy. with the point going to D69.
Just not enough pressure, right? They couldn't find the crack in District 69's defense. The Cassie was there to hold things down. The Barrack was just totally set up. He was under no pressure, and neither of these frontliners were able to get in. This Gerrogos is going to be very effective at just staving off both the frontliners. You can see already 90% art. Now he's charged up on the Dragon Punch, ready to go. Able to be finding these easy salvos every single time it's off cooldown. Wow. It's going to provide so much value, so much pressure, so much shield shred, so much ult charge, just so much value on this Gerrogos pick against double frontline.
And Shipa playing Barrack just so well and staying alive and just being impactful and just making sure that he's healing with those turrets in healing station, and the protection from Torvald combined, added on top of Barrack's natural kind of tankiness and sustain orientation with this deck, is making him a powerhouse in this game. 6 streak for Shipa, and great placement, great adjustment, great slow creep from D69 as they just inch their way more and more, keep poking out Burrito.
I don't know if you're a StarCraft guy, but watching this Barrack, it feels like a cannon rush from like a Protoss, like a cheese at the start of the game. He just slowly creeps into your base, just dropping turret and turret after turret, just closing you out. The noose slowly tightening as Daddy Barrack gets rolling here on this payload push.
Oh, finally he goes down. Hyper Beam is ready though, and if eLvenpath's still running the recharge build, he's going to get some movement speed as he decides to use that. Look at this, here's the Dragon Punch from bugzy. He's going to slay Thiel and Laizy, 2 huge targets by himself. bugzy taking 2, but now this is very, very important. Midnight comes out and will stall any offensive, but bugzy's still going to hit a fire spit, still gets damage during that ultimate, allows PERDO to clean up Bird. That is a great heads-up play, and I guess if you fire straight, you can just shoot straight as well. Finish that rocket off. Here's the Hyper Beam. That's going to send one out into the air. eLvenpath sends Leminate to his death in the skies, and they clean it up 2-0 over Burrito here.
A lot of ultimates come out. The Barrack dropped his, Dome Shield came out, Hyper Beam was used, Dragon Punch used a little bit before that, and the Midnight as well, so a lot spent from both sides to get this going, and it just felt as Burrito, they got snowballed on like they like to do to other teams. Once that payload push got rolling, the Barrack was just unstoppable, tough to deal with. bugzy just immense pressure with the Gerrogos, and eLvenpath providing support, gerrah in the backline providing support as well.
They've got Wizened Age on the side of D69. They've got Torvald, the Runic Sage. They've got Barrack, right? The Tinkerer being able to go and just have, I think, a little bit of the experience. And in many ways, it's a funny thing because Torvald, although he's old and his visual style is new, and Barrack is very old and one of the oldest champions we've had. Yeah. And in many ways, it can be difficult to play against 2 different styles, combining that old and new into something kind of fresh for Burrito to face up against. I don't think they practiced a lot against the Barrack Torvald. I don't think they have a good idea, despite how well they are, of exactly how the pacing of that plays. And maybe that's what's really throwing this into that snowball mode right now.
Maybe we'll have to see, as Shipa with the Master Riding is going to be very quick back to the point to get set up. eLvenpath on this Torvald, keeping him safe, doing a great job of that. The resilience pickup as well here, just to fight off some of the CC here from Impaler Arrows, from Dread Serpents, all that sort of good stuff. Shipa with the Cauterize 2 online, eLvenpath with the Cauterize 2 online right now. Burrito's going to be a little bit strapped for credits here, as District 69 did find the payload in most of the kills in the previous round.
Resilience, an important item that I love to stress. And there's the shield, immediately goes into the turret, and eLvenpath and Barrack just clean up this top zone. And this is a very important place because you can see the entire battlefield from here, and you can just poke your head in and out, and you can have total control over when you decide to drop down. But now bonkar is still alive. He's doing a lot more damage than he's done before. Bird with a great Dread Serpent is not going to finish off Shipa as a result of the bubble of protection Torvald applied, but that will not apply to the rest of D69. Thiel, Leminate, Laizy, and Thiel one more time will sweep D69 out of this fight, and Burrito will claim a convincing victory here. Boy, that pause did a lot for them.
Yep, and they're going to capture the payload as well. Not able to get back in time is Barrack. Beautiful impale actually into the payload that just spawned from Laizy. But 2 things went different in that fight. A, you had the beautiful Dread Serpent from Bird, and B, this time around in the 1v1 in the backline, Leminate comes out on top of PERDO's Cassian. Again, finds the kill onto the Cassian. That was such a big swing play for them because he went on to get more kills in that engagement before finally being taken down.
2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock, and it is all Burrito continuing to push this, trying to make sure that they can find a win, find some victory here, finally, and being able to put themselves in a good spot to come back into this game. If D69 are able to defend, though, Nick, the most important thing to note here is they will be 3-1 up, and that just means one more point and they win this game, and that's huge, something to take into account.
So definitely looking for the conversion here is Burrito. Here comes the Midnight. Laizy finds the kill on the PERDO and eLvenpath. So this is a good time to get this snowball rolling. Those are long respawns on defense. Gerrah gonna go down to Leminate as well here. Burrito look to choke out District 69, keeping them staggered. Barrick is all alone. He goes down, and this is the exact snowball that they're looking for.
Look at this play as well by Leminate. I mean, it's just so strong, the way that he's hitting these daggers. He's using 9 lives to get the reset. Wants one more, hits the pounce, finishes off PERDO at the help of Laizy, and that's a 2-2 score line. It is all tied up between the top dogs in Europe.
So Bird has the Dread Serpent available, ready to go again. So can replicate the point fight from the previous round and try and keep things alive for his team, but you see how these top teams are really able to abuse the snowball and take control and keep momentum going, calling out, getting one pick at a time, and never letting either of these dangerous teams get back as 5 once they have the advantage here. That's exactly what they're trying to leverage here. So hopefully Leminate can find the pick onto PERDO or onto someone. Maybe it's gerrah, maybe it's even bugzy in the backline, but a lot rides on the shoulders of this Maven. I would love to just continue to ride along with him, see where he goes, see where his positioning is. This time, he's going to take the right flank, but he's going to be spotted out by Scout, so that's going to skunk a lot of the aggression coming out of Burrito immediately.
That's great, because you can just see they all pull back, and it gets exactly what bugzy wants. Although Bird finishes off bugzy in response, he still has the Dread Serpent, and they've traded out a lot of damage on the side of D69.
There's PERDO.
4-shot Lin on the side of Burrito. It could be a favorable trade, but for which team is the question. Leminate has got to do a lot of work here, but Shipa on Barrick finishes it off. Thiel is swinging with Ancient Rage, but protection from eLvenpath will keep him and Barrick alive. And now Thiel is on the back foot. Ancient Rage has been used. Dread Serpent's been used. He hits the hook. No 10 cents this time. He's on a 10 streak, but will he keep his life? It looks like he just might, and this turtle could come back to haunt them.
Dredge Anchor is up. This could be big. PERDO's falling lower and lower. 78% on the point for D69. Burrito being held back right now with only 33% to their name and 93 as we climb. No one from Burrito is getting close to this one as the Hyper Beam from eLvenpath creates the zone. District 69 with a chance to close out game number 1.
And I can't stress how particularly valuable that protection was from eLvenpath onto Barrick to keep him alive while Thiel was in Ancient Rage. That ultimate would have secured the kills there, but instead it's almost like the bait gets baited. And that protection, that 2K bubble, means that Thiel going for that actually ends up in a bad spot and gets nothing for that ult except his life, which isn't enough to stop the payload from being captured. Minute and 54 seconds left as D69 continue their terrorizing ways onto Burrito. Bugzy and eLvenpath are having a field day right now, and they're so staggered, this could be over quickly if they don't change this up.
I mean, Barrick does good damage against you, saying you see 600 minimum here with no fall off, and bonus damage only going to spiral that out of control for Barrick if he's hitting the mark with his turrets. Here's the illusory rip from gerrah to try and keep everyone alive here. District 69 looking to keep this holding strong. There's a big Dread Serpent, but a Dragon Punch comes out as well, and Bugsy's already found 2 in this engagement.
And that's the power of Drogo's. Thiel gets a great hook onto him. Shipa with the lockdown, looking to find out, the Dome Shield, excuse me, looking to figure out if he can keep his teammates alive and create a space that is impenetrable for Burrito. Midnight comes through and will confuse the battlefield for a moment, and there's Hexafire, but it's going to be blocked by so much of Barrick's small height, and the headshot from Barrick onto Ruckus from Shipa, who's on the 10 streak. Daddy Barrick, the stay-at-home dad, is looking like a hero here. The kids will be keeping his portrait over their bedstand tonight. He is the one that helped shepherd this payload to victory.
Tactical dwarf, you know, the height. Barrick sitting at a stout 3'10", probably somewhere around there, is able to just kind of chill behind the payload and not eat any of that Hexafire. Just not big enough there. Shipa 22 and 5 top eliminations in the game with that Barrick. 45,000 damage as well. You know, beating out the Makoa in damage, beating out the traditionally top aggressive tank.
And it's
Is Barrick the answer?
Is it a new day? Is Barrick back? That's the question. I think he'll definitely play a big part in this series now. As a result of his success in Game 1, drafts will have to change, and they'll have to adjust to what D69 was able to be successful with. Will a Ying get taken away? I doubt we'll see that. Bird also favors that as well, and they will be anticipating Shipa's Barrick. But I think one of the big key makers for me as we head into the maps for next game, Nick, let's take a look at how effective bugzy was in that game. I mean, the Dragon Punch to finish that off, that meant one tank was down on the side of Burrito and not D69 in that final push, and that made all the difference. That's why they 2-0'd.
He is incredibly impactful on this champion, almost always. Frog Isle, the selection here for Drogos, and he does fairly well on this map, but this map has a little bit of different flavor to it than Stonekeep. It's more open. Flankers, especially Leminate's Mave, is going to have a tough time getting to the back line here without taking some poke damage, without being spotted out, I think is the big key here. And as we head into the champion draft, everything just feels like it's up in the air right now. People are starting to figure out new strategies with Torvald as well, and Legendary's coming in the mix. You know, God knows what's going to be first pick.
It's going to be important to see where Burrito puts their energy here. And we have noticed that bonkar and Sun Commander have swapped places for this match. So Sun Commander, originally, Nick, a part of Burrito's starting five. bonkar was a part of their starting five after his success as a sub at Paladins Invitational in January, them winning the whole thing. And it seems like they're going back to their old ways here for this set, which is very important.
I don't know if it's technical difficulties, what it may be, but when things start going south, you call the KS Commander 7. Get those Dat Seffi Sheffins in chat, please. Drogos, Ruckus, the selections here for District 69. Makoa still the first pick for Burrito here. What will they answer back with? This is a very different draft, right, from District 69 this time around. They get the Ruckus away this time. The Cassie, however, going to go to Burrito this time, and the Mave. So Laizy and Leminate likely, or Sun Commander maybe. We don't know where he's going to fit into this draft.
Exactly, and this opens up a little bit more of the Androxus potential as well. And I think D69 may know that he's playing, may not know that he's playing. I'm pretty sure that they would. So they may start to favor Androxus here with PERDO as a damage champion, maybe just to take that away from Sun Commander, get him off something maybe a little bit less comfortable than one of those iconic champions that he's known to do so well with.
Yep. So still needing a healer. Burrito likely to go with Ying as one of their selections here, but Fernando's still on the table. If they want that, but it will be the Eevee. So Sun Commander will probably either be playing Cassie or Mave, because I expect Laizy to be on the Eevee, and Leminate probably to be on the Mave, so Sun Commander on the Cassie. But we don't know what he's been practicing. We don't know what he has the potential to whip out. Androxus, the final selection for District 69.
And that will be PERDO's Androxus. We saw Leminate go bonkers, pun intended, on the Androxus a couple games ago. Will PERDO be able to match the action? Let's get into game number 2 here on Frog Island. Burrito versus D69. The boys from D69 with a 1-0 lead in this set. PERDO will be on Androxus, gerrah on the Maldamba, bugzy on Drogos, eLvenpath on a Torvald, and Shipa on Ruckus.
Leminate will be playing Mave, Laizy on Eevee, Thiel, and Makoa. Sun Commander on Cassie, running that fairly standard Cassie loadout. Onslaught 4, Incitement 4, Somersault as well. That's a card. That's the flavor card here in this loadout for me. Drop it below 30%. Health reduce or resets the cooldown for dodge roll. So just that almost that emergency exit feel, right?
Yep.
If all else fails, if you miss your dodge roll shot, you have something to fall back on. That does have the internal cooldown, just a mere 10 seconds. So he'll be able to bail himself out all the time. Bird rounding things out on Ying. Getting that bonus damage shot, rolls into the wall and finds it around the corner. D69, very aggressive Torvald pushing up for eLvenpath.
Bird having a blast as Ying, and they elect to go on to him, but they just force him back, and he actually stops facing off against the Ying and goes towards the right-hand side. And the Sun Commander in the back line gets a kill on the Shipa, but Thiel falls in the process. So it does seem that D69 is have still kept their success rate here. Laizy, though, picks up PERDO. And
this is why Cassie always has higher damage than we can anticipate right now. He just probably farmed out, you know, almost 10,000 damage right then and there, just silently in the backline, poking away at the health pools of District 69. He found a lot of damage onto Ruckus as well, poking him out. First blood onto the mech there. PERDO, though, finds Laizy, and District 69 in total control of the point. 78% in climbing to nothing.
Things have not changed thus far for Burrito. Despite drafting differently and prioritizing different champions, they find themselves in the same situation. Down 1-0 now on a different map, Frog Isle. They've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Nick. But things haven't gone well for them. Bird's still, done what he's been doing on Ying, but they haven't been able to capitalize off a lot of the pressure Laizy's been applying on the Eevee. The kills haven't come as frequently as they wanted. What's the adjustment?
I feel like it might just be this Torvald coming out for District 69, Burrito. They don't like it. I don't think we've ever seen them pick it. That means they don't have that deep understanding of how the character works in terms of positioning. Obviously, they know what the abilities do, but they don't understand eLvenpath's mindset, right? Where if you look at a character like Eevee, I talked to Bird a little bit about how going into HRX, Laizy and the boys versus Abyss, how they have Josh Kent, they have a good Eevee player, they have somebody that knows what makes that character tick. Burrito don't have that right now, I don't think, for Torvald. We haven't seen them bring it out here. And this is the impact player. This has been the impact character for me in North America as well. Eager have been showing great mastery of Torvald. Him having that outstanding impact on a lot of teams that just don't have the mastery of him, haven't played with him, haven't played against him enough to know what the deal is.
It's a minute and 10 seconds left for D69 to push, but they've yet to really get past this wall of defense that has been provided by Burrito Esports. Whatever kind of hesitation or adjustments they've needed to Sun Commander now as a part of the roster for this game, or just Frog Isle or these new characters that they've been playing, has taken place, and they've been able to stall D69 very, very well. And Thiel, again, hitting those hooks. Taking bugzy out of this push is going to really make it a difficult task for them. There's a lot on the onus of PERDO here as well, as he's the Androxus in the back line, trying to find a couple of kills on his own.
Going down, taken by surprise by the ruckus. Slowly waddles his way around the corner. A lot of healing coming out. Gerrah right now, keeping Shipa healthy. PERDO finds Leminate as well, and Burrito starting to show some cracks here. District 69 have found a very favorable push here for Frog Isle.
There it is. He's going on the Ying, trying to finish off Bird, but enough duking and jiving will allow Bird to stay alive, and that is going to be a swing to finish off the King of the Skies, Androxus, by Thiel. And so PERDO will go back to base. Laizy will clean up Shipa, and that will be a successful defense. Unfortunately, one small move allows Burrito to hold on to that one, but they trade a huge rage in the process, and that could be a very, very big disadvantage going into this next team fight.
So I don't think District 69 are too upset by that. They get two big key ultimates off the side of Burrito. Ice Storm and Ancient Rage are no longer available in this fight. So District 69 will have the ultimate advantage going into this point fight. And they were able to win it without ultimates. So with the ultimate advantage, District 69 looking good to take this one. But I think their composition falls off a little bit harder towards the late game than Burrito's does. These Wreckers are going to start having a big impact on this Torvald, as well as these Cauterizes are going to have a big impact on this Ruckus in particular, who is so dependent on that sustain coming out from the Malbomber.
All right, it's up to Burrito Esports to find an answer here. There comes the Dragon Punch from bugzy, and there's the Dread Serpent as well to clear the space for him, so he will not fall. Double kill for the Dragon, looking for one more, and he's not going to find it yet. Bird's ultimate was used. Actually, it was saved to try and keep him and his team alive at a later moment, knowing that they just weren't going to win that team fight, and probably rather have it when all 5 teammates are up. But will he stay up for long? bugzy finds him in the air again. The constant pressure from PERDO and him from both levels on the ground and in the sky are just too much for Burrito to handle.
Leminate dashed into that Dread Serpent and was just punished by Laizy there. So a bit of a misstep, helping District 69 get more value out of an already great zoning ultimate, 90% and counting on the payload capture here. And Burrito are here for the take back. And Leminate could get this pick on the bugzy. That could be big. They trade out though, and that is not favorable for Burrito. They had that kill wrapped up.
They really did, and that just shows the masterclass of a Drogos player who can hit direct shots on a double jumping Maeve, and at that speed as well. And Maeve, and Burrito falling short of really cleaning up these kills when they needed to. do. And again, I'm loving eLvenpath's decision-making with these tanks, taking the Barrack, taking the Ruckus, and protecting them. Not always saying, I'm going to protect my damage dealers.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my tank alive. And that is actually giving them so much sustain, so much of a bait opportunity in these point fights. And keeping those tanks alive is meant a lot to D69 here. 2-1 lead for them. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left for the push.
Rolling forward now, PERDO on the back foot, big hook onto eLvenpath. He is going to go off the map onto the drink. Here's a Dragon Punch, though, but after losing 2 picks, hits a Ying clone. Bird hits him with the early bird special. Bugzy gives up his life for it as well, so that is a big swing for D69. I don't even understand. After you see eLvenpath go off the map and PERDO get killed, why a Dragon Punch at that point?
You know, I think the thought process for me is that we're just trying to be aggressive with this ult. I charge it up very quickly. If we can keep the momentum in our favor, you know, just get them off their game, right? I mean, it staggers the respawns, and that can be very powerful, especially with 3 or 4 other members of your team still alive. Bugzy unfortunately doesn't hit it, though. Those Dragon Punches can be consumed by a Ying clone and do basically no damage to anybody, so very heads-up play by Bird. We've seen him do that before. I'm sure that's what was happening there as well. eLvenpath using recharge to get into the back line a little bit faster thanks to his loadout, but Laizy pop shots to the back of the head, and now they're looking under duress. D69, not a lot of places to go here.
Record just so strong against Torvald here. Laizy's in a bit of a rough spot. That is not what you want waiting on you when you get out of your ice block. Ancient Rage is available here if Thiel needs to go into it, and I say need because they would like to try and hold on to this if they can to help swing the point fight in their favor in the round to come.
And Midnight's available. This is a huge ultimate. Ancient Rage now back up for Makoa. We mentioned that was down, but Bugzy, he's almost got 83% and more on his Dragon Punch. Laizy and Thiel pick up 2, but Bugzy slays Thiel without using the ultimate, and that is a problem. Bugzy slays Leminate as well. Bugzy taking 2 huge targets down. Has the time to fire spit while falling midair as well. I wish I could do that once, but then him and his teammates are unfortunately not complete in finishing up this damage here. I thought they were going to fall back, Nick, but with a Dragon Punch here, I don't know if they will.
Trying to keep this push alive, but Thiel picks up 2 in a big way. Leminate finds Shipa on the front line, and everybody is going to be zoned out from District 69 here. They will keep things tied up, keep their hopes and dreams alive. Hanging on to a couple of big ultimates as well. They have the Midnight, they have the Ancient Rage this time, the Illusory Rift as well. Cauterize 3 for Bird. This is where I think Burrito are going to be able to take this one back if they can find favorable fights. They have what they need to take out Shipa. They have the Wrecker 2s online. You saw Laizy basically just 3-shot that Torvald with her bonus damage. Leminate has now gone into Wrecker 3. So he is looking to shred through these tanks. Not looking so much at the back line, I feel, but just punching down this front line as fast as possible. With Wrecker 3 and Cauterize 3, Torvald is going to fall very quickly.
And he's looking to just get this standard damage off. You mentioned he hits like a blaster, but he's so mobile. He's so fast. He's hard to really focus a lot of energy on chasing because you know he can escape. You know he can get away, but he just finds Ruckus. He waits safely, throws the Midnight out as well, very preemptively because Thiel is almost dead here as a result of the initial burst. There's the Dragon's Fury. Bugzy waits and finishes up Bird. This time not a Ying clone. Thiel takes down Bugzy in response. Gerrah has the time to turn around, keep the Mending Spirits free, but he can't CC that Makoa, who is CC immune in Ancient Rage. Thiel slays eLvenpath, Thiel slays Gerrah, and Burrito find themselves at the top of the ladder here, 30% and counting, and it's tied 2-2.
Thiel has been punishing the Dragon Punch every single time, and it's exactly what a Makoa player needs to do. You can't let the momentum keep on this Drogo side. Once he lands a Dragon Punch, he's dying almost every single time for it. And as a result of that, he was able to get the Ancient Rage off safely. Once the Dragon Punch comes out onto his healer, Thiel can take the team fight almost by himself with the Ancient Rage. D69 are coming back, but these Wreckers immediately shredding through Torvald's shield.
But what's important is eLvenpath took down Thiel. Now, despite Burrito having a great advantage here, Bugzy is going to go down, and yes, that will be the end of it all. If he would have stayed alive, they would have had a chance to maybe do some area damage without the tank pressure, pulling him back down with the Dredge Anchor, but it is all Burrito in that point fight. You mentioned mentioned it, Nick. The Cauterized threes, they had a big impact, and it seems like it could be Burrito able to snowball this from here on out.
And even Dragon Punch going on to Bird instead of Thiel there was a big, I don't want to call it a mistake, but Dragon Punching Bird is dangerous enough, especially when he's playing Ying. And then on top of that, you leave the field wide open for Thiel to just charge through your whole team on Ancient Rage. Big Ice Storm coming out as well, and this is the snowball that you don't want to let Burrito get into.
And I don't know, I think Laizy's gonna get out of this one. A Maldamba Gourd comes out, and gerrah will get the kill, but will he stay alive? He will fall as a result of his crimes against Burrito. With 1 minute and 40 seconds left, they are looking to continue this feast of a meal. Thiel throws a bugzy off the map. Booster not ready, thrust not ready, nobody ready.
And just like that, Burrito, they're able to take it back. That is the Burrito snowball happening right then and there. They take 1 point fight, and then within a minute, the game's over. It felt
like 30 seconds.
D69 were in the driver's seat in that game. They were ahead on the net worth chart by over 1,000, it felt like, because they captured the first 2 payload, but just that one small slip. I really want to pinpoint it to the Dragon Punch on Bird. That's when it all turned around. Thiel's punished every single Dragon Punch that wasn't on him. He hooks Bugzy, you know, whether he likes it or not, and the rest of Burrito able to find the kill, and then a free Ancient Rage into the backline that finds gerrah and eLvenpath. I don't like the choice.
We'll see if they can make some better choices, Nick, because it's 1-1 now. What's done is done. The next map they'll be playing on is Jaguar Falls. And they will have to draft a lineup that can win here. Considering both teams have won, champion selection will be more important than ever into this next game. Let's see which champions will be selected by these 2 top-tier teams.
I liked the draft from both teams in the previous game. It's just that District 69's, I think, fell off a little bit harder with Wrecker and Cauterize coming online, and Burrito were able to keep themselves in the game long enough for that to come into play. And, you know, in the previous rounds, we saw those Torvald picks just win the game before the Cauterize and the Wreckers could get to that rank 2 and that rank 3 level. But the instant Maeve first pick here from Burrito,
it's working.
It is working. You know, she does well with Wrecker against Torvald, which is something that District 69 have picked in almost every game. Will they pair it with the Makoa this time? Will they bring out the Barrack with the Makoa this time? A lot of question marks, but another early Ying, so this tells me that they're maybe looking to go into a late Barrack pick.
Well, if they can take the Drogos here, I think the Barrack can work. If they don't, I think they're going to be in an interesting situation. Ruckus is actually selected, so I think they want to call Burrito's hand here. They want to say, all right, you're going to prioritize Drogos? We haven't seen you do that yet. Let's see if you're going to pick it. You've enjoyed Eevee. You've enjoyed a couple of these other champions. All right, you will take Drogos. That's the information they're knowing. Barrack maybe becomes less of a viable option, especially since they have Makoa and Ruckus already. And now they start to say, oh, Shaolin looks pretty good against this Torvald. Who else looks pretty good against this Torvald? And how do we mix them into there? I mean,
where's Fernando today?
I don't know, man.
Where's Fernando?
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life.
Barrack hovered right now for District 69. Triple frontliner. Could be a dream, but into Drogos, that is dangerous to do.
Wow. You know, wow. Okay, so this is a very Burrito-esque lineup.
Yeah, this is the all-in. We're winning this game in 6 minutes or we're losing.
This is 2 healers. This is all these shields, and it's like Cauterize and Wrecker will wreck this team. They do not have very much damage, but you know what they do, Nick? They have the ability to, I think, capitalize off Makoa hooks if eLvenpath can consistently hit them. They've got Ruckus, who could provide a bunch of damage if he's able to just get set up for it.
Yeah.
And that repulsor field on the 3 tanks.
And the pit.
That's going to hurt, man.
The pit, though, I don't know. Burrito have a lot of tools to dismantle this composition. This is going to go either very well or very bad for District 69. I'm very excited to see this. I love that the meta is just shaken up right now with legendary cards coming in. You guys, we're going to have no idea what's coming out here in the next couple of weeks from these drafts. PERDO, though, will be on Ruckus, gerrah on Ying, eLvenpath on Barrack, Bugzy on Makoa, and Shipa on Grok.
All counter cards coming out from the side of Burrito. And for their lineup, Leminate will be on the Maeve. Laizy from on the Drogos. Thiel on Torvald, Sun Commander on Cassie, and Bird on Pip as they take their first route into Jaguar Falls. So much is relying on Bugzy and his initiation for his team as an offensive tank. to figure out some damage opportunities here. First blood, though, goes to Leminate on Gerrah, and that is not a part of their plan. But Laizy, could he fall? He can! And this is already okay for Burrito. For D69, they see a light at the end of the tunnel. Torvald's shield's almost down. No wreckers bought for their squad, so they can't bring them down very much. And right now, they look trapped and in a hole here.
Beautiful hook there from Bugzy, taking Leminate with him at the very least. Sun Commander, though, still alive. Now going to trade out with PERDO. These teams are trading kill for kill. I feel like they have no idea what's going on with these lineups. These are probably lineups they haven't practiced in some time, but Laizy is back. Laizy is going to be pumping damage into this composition here from District 69, and he is the big key here. Bugzy, being that he is coming back from respawn right now, can't hook him. There he is. Needs to be careful of it. D69, though, just bully their way onto the point. And I would expect this composition from District 69 to take the first payload. But again, into the late game, District 69's composition is going to start to fall off hard.
And it is so important that these defenses happen. They need to get this pushed through, Nick. 2 minutes mean more than 2 minutes have ever meant for D69 right now because of the fact that they got to get this game over with quickly before Cauterize and Wrecker become issues. The good thing going for them, though, is they've actually got themselves 300 extra credits in place of Burrito because they won that capture objective. So if that would have been at Burritos and they got an extra, basically tier 2 of Cauterize or Wrecker right now, this game could almost be over.
If eLvenpath, or Bugzy, excuse me, continues to hit these hooks onto key characters and pulling them out of the sky, Laizy is the big one here. He's going to be having so much of the weight on his shoulders to try and take apart this composition. Bugzy aggressive into the backline, finds Thiel.
They can't even move. Bugzy's hooked every single person. Here's Laizy going with the Dragon Punch, but you got 3 tanks, and now you're pulled out of the sky, and you're dead. There is nothing they can do. Bird with a great ultimate, but he's got 3 chickens to shoot at by himself, and that's going to be a successful push. Again, Bugzy not paying 10 cents to anybody, certainly not Bird or Thiel. He's only got hooks for them.
That's a tough call for Bird there. That is a very tough call to use that evil mojo there. You gotta try and save it, but it's like the payload was already so close and D69's had all 5 members there still. What are the actual chances of the Pip 1v5 clutch ace?
Yeah, you're right, but what about Torvald right now? He's got Hyper Beam. We didn't see that before on this point-centered lineup. Could that be very valuable here?
Absolutely, because everyone having to clump on this point. Jaguar Falls, that honestly was like the last map I thought we were going to see all the highlight plays, but it is just the way the point is lined up with the hazard zone off the side, the left here from Bugzy's perspective. Thiel's right, you can see the dark room there. That's where we could see District 69, I think, are aware of it because they're showing they don't want to get on the poke just yet. They're taking out Thiel almost immediately here. Thiel likely to be first blood.
And he is. Bugzy takes him down again, and they're just following up off of these hooks. We talk about how important the initiation would be, but Barrack with his sustain, with Ying there, they've got the deployable Nightmare, and they've got Ruckus, who's just really a big deployable, and they've got Bugzy in the front line using those hooks to serve these kills up on a platter. He's by himself right now, and there is no stopping D69. They're about to make it 3-0 in less than 5 minutes against Burrito Esports here, and they have done that. 4 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock have gone by. Now they've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to win this game. 600 credit advantage already after the 2 capture points won.
Oh, there's the Hyper Beam as well. Too little, too late from Thiel. Close a couple of Ying clones off the map, but no kills is not what Burrito need of their tank right now. Sun Commander finally able to stem the bleeding here, taking out eLvenpath. Shock Pulse, Grok build not coming through here. Shipa just going for it. Here's the Dragon Punch, though, and I don't think the Dragon Punch landed during the team fight because I saw Laizy sitting around 30% of the charge, which is what you get refunded if you miss the Dragon Punch. And I didn't remember seeing any of those Dragon Punches connect. So that tells me, 2 big ultimates that needed to come through, the Hyper Beam and the Dragon Punch, to try and break up this Death Ball composition from District 69. Just didn't find the mark.
Well, now we see just the pressure. Look at the damage already applied. Because of the Ruckus there, they've got decent long-range damage. They've got decent pressure in zone. Cassie cannot just sit and take, Ruckus DPS to the face. Bugzy misses 2 rare hooks in a row, and that's given Burrito a bit of a respite against D69. This is exactly what D69 can't have happen. This is exactly what Burrito want. They want to stall this game out, make this last longer and longer. So far, they've done a decent job, but can they keep it up?
So much damage from Sun Commander right now, but no one's dying. It feels like so much HP for District 69 now finally starting to fall. 2 kills for the Burrito squad. Shipa takes out Leminate in the back line, though. Big repulsor field trying to keep everyone alive.
No!
Very low on the point right now
Oh!
is District 69. eLvenpath comes around the corner, but Laizy's Drogos is no bugzy Drogos, and eLvenpath is able to escape with his life, gets connected with a healer who gets taken out. Pays for eLvenpath's sins, and he continues to live in the backline, getting healed up from those healing stations.
I don't know. I might have Dragon Punch there if I was Laizy in that moment, but he's going to save it. 30 seconds left. He knows he may really need to use it at the end of this fight. Leminate in the background, and bugzy misses the hook again. I think that's been a clear deciding factor of why this has gone a little differently. bugzy with this lineup needs to hit those hooks. He's got to pull them close. Otherwise, Barrett's going to tickle you for 40 to 80 damage from range. They've got to get that 600 from him. They've got to get the DPS from Ruckus right with the headshots. They haven't done that, but I don't think they're going to give it up easily, Nick. 8 seconds left. They've got to get back to this payload. I think they're going to make an attempt, but will it be successful?
Depends if he can stay on his horse long enough here. Shipa is able to get back on the payload, so overtime will come through at the very least. Sun Commander is in a bad spot. PERDO takes him out. Leminate cleans up Shipa, who just needed to serve the purpose of getting back to the payload. Hyper Beam is available. Thiel trying to position for it. Dragon Punch comes through from Laizy as well, but he is low HP, gets healed up, hits a Ying clone, not off the mark, still able to get gerrah, but not the trade they were hoping for.
He falls for the old Ying clone trick. He fell for the Bird early special, but here's the Torvald nightly special here, and he is open 24 hours. Thiel with the Hyper Beam may have just saved the day for Burrito alongside the rest of their squad, but ultimately, with the ultimate, cleaning up to and making sure that D69 have to go another round with Wreckers and Cauterizes getting stronger and stronger.
No Dragon Punch, no Hyper Beam. All they have is the Evil Mojo here. This Evil Mojo from Bird has to be big, or Burrito, I feel, are going to lose this game. Pip looking good with his Rooster Brewster, with his Valentine's goggles. Is it going to be enough? The Handicopter seems to, you know, the attitude is positive here in the spawn room. We got emotes coming out. We got beautiful customizations here, but it's got to be big. This Evil Mojo from Bird is going to decide a lot.
eLvenpath with the Resilience and the Rejuvenate 3 now. So he will not get knocked back off the map by that Hyper Beam unless he's standing on the edge. Very important to know. That's a great hook by bugzy, and that's already Laizy dead thanks to PERDO. Leminate is 85 health, almost falling to Shipa's grok, but he will stay alive, and that's the difference, Nick. bugzy missed a lot of crucial hooks, and now he's finally hitting them and bringing anyone that the hook finds into death's arms. He's looking for one more here. Torvald is the answer. They're all chickens, but they all split up in 3 different ways, and thanks to Resilience 3, it is up to eLvenpath to now become the hunter. Barrick is looking for blood, and he finds Leminate here. He's got healing station, he's got grok, and it looks like Leminate will escape just barely with his life as Barrick crowds around a corner, puts the shield up, and starts to heal up off his turrets.
But bugzy staying alive there, and now eLvenpath coming around the corner, finding Bird as well. They're back on the point. D69 find the victory. And a big mistake there, I think. Sun Commander going on to eLvenpath, not really realizing he has the resilience. Maybe he just wasn't able to tell that rooster apart from the other 4 roosters that Bird created for him. But he went for the Barrick, who had the resilience, who popped out of that polymorph almost instantaneously and just wasn't able to find the kill. Goes down. A little bit of a misstep there, but D69, that's how I expected that game to go. It was going to go one of 2 ways, right? Very quickly, or that slow burn where Burrito start to come back towards the end of the game. And not a lot of crazy damage numbers or anything from anyone on District 69, but just pure HP and mitigation bullying their way onto the point and refusing to move.
It's very feasible if eLvenpath dies there, that that fight shifts, that it goes the direction of Burrito. So important, the itemization. He took more damage than most would take because he didn't go into Blast Shields or Haven for the majority of that match. But at the end of the day, he got what he came for by picking up that counter to that specific moment that maybe, just maybe, won the game for them. It's time to go to the map screen and see where we'll be playing game number 4. Nick, what? I mean, that was very janky. It was really weird to see that.
Laizy got picked off a lot. 9 deaths, most on his team, even with the Torvald. And the shields were pretty on point from Thiel, but bugzy hitting a lot of airborne hooks, I think, was a telltale sign of just you're going to have a bad time. Even if you're a Drogoz player, you're nowhere safe. That's clear that District 69 recognized that was the key to Burrito's victory, was Laizy staying alive, getting a lot of damage, a lot of fire spits, salvos, dragon punches off, so that it was clear they were focusing him down, and they did a great job of it. He had almost twice the deaths of anyone on his squad. He had less damage than Sun Commander's Cassie against a triple tank, 2 healer composition who is clumped on the point, who you should be getting 5,000 free damage every time you fire spit.
Yeah.
You know, 2K plus for every salvo. It's clear that he was the focus, that he was feeling a lot of pressure in that game.
And I think they did a good thing. In as many ways, Drogo's stat counter, but he's a counter to a tank, not a counter to necessarily 3 tanks, especially if they're all focusing, because that's just a big job, despite how good that dragon is right now. It's a tall task for one man.
And Burrito, they do that kind of composition. They know how to beat it, right? It's just, it's that difficult. I think it's so counter to what the meta is or was, I think we can start to say right now, that it's crazy that Burrito, they just maybe didn't see it coming. That's a type of composition that will come out of nowhere, right? All of a sudden, I think the early Ying pick should have, set off some alarms in Burrito's head. Be like, okay, Ying picked when Maldamba is available. Given our current meta right now, I think something's fishy here. And then all of a sudden the Barrack and the Grok come out of nowhere, and you're just like, uh-oh. And it's almost too late in your draft to try and turn that around, try and spin the wheels in the other direction. Because Daddy Barrack's coming downhill in the RV.
And I think with Torvald is an interesting kind of stance that Burrito took.
And that's not like Thiel's wonder pick.
And they specifically took the stance that he's not really that good. Like, we know how to counter him, right? And so then when you're forced to kind of pick him up, when the actual moment that, like, on paper, Torvald should be great. 3 shields, 4 shields, whatever it is, 3 shields. We can finish that off easy with Torvald. It just felt that it wasn't at the level of, obviously, as Makoa, but obviously a lot of other of the champions that he might have been able to play, and how D69 was playing their tanks as well. It seems like Shipa's practiced his Barrack lately. It seems like eLvenpath put on a little bit on the Barrack lately. They were ready for this. And Burrito now really shaking things back up, putting the Makoa on their side this time. And this has got to be a completely different draft now from D69.
This is where Burrito makes their impact, right? With this Makoa. Haven't seen them do great without it thus far. So good to have Thiel back on that one. District 69 answering with the Drogoz. Burrito looked like they want to keep things on the meta track here. They want to keep where they were dominant. District 69 trying to, like, 180 back to when they were starting to take series off of Burrito, going with some jankier stuff.
Yep.
Barrack and Ying was pretty standard back in the day, but a lot of champions came out to kind of counter deathballing. And so the meta shifted away from that, right? And so now, every once in a while, you see teams try to slip in a deathball composition win, and it takes the other team by surprise, and they're just not ready for it. They can't turn their draft around quick enough.
I mean, it's a best of 5, Nick, and if these teams split 2-2, that's when you could slip in with a weird death ball.
Yeah.
That could be the difference in Game 5. Right now, D69 have a 2-1 advantage. It is interesting to note that these teams played each other almost a year ago. A few months from now, it'll be about a year at DreamHack. And Burrito, again, land champion, D69 changed the meta, picked somebody unique, and it was really something that they couldn't deal with. They had no idea really how to counter that. It feels like I'm getting flashbacks of Burrito in this moment. But they've done a good job of kind of getting things back on track here with 3 very good comfort picks for them.
I mean, this was HRX, right? D69 took the first 2 games, and Burrito took a breath, and they got back. They started to look like themselves more and more, and they come out on top in the end. So Burrito is a team that can bend, but they're not easily broken here. And I think that is going to be the name of the game here as we head into these later games in this best of 5. D69 had the chance to close it out, but Burrito are not looking to go down without a fight. And still no healer. The Maldamba still on the table. That will likely be the last selection for Burrito. I don't anticipate a Pip or a Grok this time around, as a little bit more of a standard composition comes out from D69. We'll have the chance to go into Barrack or Fernando or Torvald.
Yeah.
So this will really kind of tell us what they value highest.
I think you can go well Barrack here. I think you can actually do a good job because you don't have the Drogoz pressure. Obviously, Drogoz would be a little bit better with the Makoa on his team versus off his team, but Burrito don't elect to go that way. And so now you've got the deployable Nightmare, which is Bear King. That's a solid tank combo. That used to be enough for your team a long time ago. Now you've got the Ruckus as well, and PERDO on his Androxus, bugzy on his Drogos. Looks like a very strong lineup, very comfortable lineup for D69, who could take home the final win here if they're able to make it happen. PERDO on the Androxus, eLvenpath on Barik, Shipa on Ruckus, Gerrah on Ying, and bugzy on Drogos.
Burrito will park Leminate on Maeve, Thiel on Makoa, Laizy on Eevee, Sun Commander on Cassie, Bird on Maldamba. Haven't gone into their item selections just yet, but eLvenpath really leaning on this Resilience Rejuvenate start. Oftentimes, those are very cheap items, 200 each, so he's able to run out into the realm with 2 items online as opposed to just 1. Wreckers for Leminate and for Laizy. Sun Commander goes for the Cauterize here. I think, you know, Laizy we saw go into the Bulldozer, actually, which increases his damage. It's basically Wrecker for Ying clones and Barrack turrets, for those of you that don't know.
And eLvenpath with a great start again. I just love this Rejuvenate and the Resilience pickup. Just a lot of healing, a lot of just counter to CC and knockback in the duration of those as well. No first blood yet. Both teams still alive. Finding an answer. D69 find the first blood, though, onto Laizy yet again. So things continue how they left off. Leminate, though, trying to have an answer, but PERDO and eLvenpath have studied that quiz and have found the answers a little bit earlier. Sun Commander will follow up onto bugzy. Thiel just using the Shell Shield to stay alive, but D69 have just created a dominant stature on the objective, so it's very hard for them to get onto there, finally retreating as a 5-man to move forward again.
But they don't give up any picks in the process. They already have 75% on the payload capture. It's a wise decision, but the hook, the displacement, Makoa still bringing so much value no matter where the meta heads. And a big reversal is going to take down Thiel with some combination rockets from the back. Bugzy with the double kill might be enough here for D69 to find this payload.
Leminate gets deleted, and no longer is Burrito having any chance to claim that objective. It's all D69. Could it be their weekend yet again? Burrito now in contest, trying to find an answer, but bugzy, PERDO, and the squad have had all the answers today. It is long-range rockets from the sky, helping to keep the zone in pressure. There's a fire spit. It actually is a little too early from bugzy, uncharacteristic from him, but it will allow, as a result, not enough offensive pressure to stave this attack by Burrito. Very, very high forward zoning by them to keep D69 off the point.
1 minute, 50 seconds remaining. Laizy and Leminate trying to keep himself safe, but also dismount as many members from D69. Keep them poked out under pressure. PERDO sitting at under half health. Hasn't even cleared half of the map as well. Midnight is available. Prowl into the back line, looking for an angle onto someone. But he alerts PERDO of his presence in the process. And D69 doing a good job staying together right now. Gerrah's in a rough spot right now. Going to link himself onto the high ground, but goes down. As soon as they step out of position, these 2 master flankers from Burrito are going to be there to pick them off.
Such a great flank, but PERDO finds Sun Commander. Leminate finds eLvenpath. Laizy still in the back line, picked up 1, wants to find another, looks for bugzy in the sky, and he knows rockets are flying after him. He hits 1, he hits 2! Laizy swing and a hit onto the Dragon player for D69, and he will fall back content with taking down one of their captain and main sources of damage in this push. 50 seconds left. D69 have yet to find a route that has been accessible without getting one of their members poked out or killed.
Salvo onto the high ground is going to put some poke on the Sun Commander, but he's just going to roll back to safety and get healed up by Maldamba. Almost every ultimate is available here. Dome Shield, the only one not available for eLvenpath right now. So this still has the potential to blow wide open. The payload hasn't made much progress, and this is good for Burrito because District 69 can't convert the payload off of one team fight. When beautiful high ground hook there onto bugzy. But can he find the shot? He will, and stay alive to poop there. Saving his life. Laizy, his partner in crime, takes down gerrah.
That's huge as well. PERDO looks to find Thiel, but he's facing off against Thiel, healed by a Maldamba played by Bird, and also Sun Commander on top of that. And that is just too much of a deadly combination for the Androxus player to be able to get around. It's 35 seconds for them to figure out items and their next steps in the game. Nick, walk us through the decision making here.
So just more of the same from Burrito. More Cauterize, more Wrecker. Take this pseudo death ball. I mean, anything with Barrack and Ying wants to be focused on the point for the most part. This Ruckus as well, more effective on the point than not, obviously, because one of his abilities is literally tied to it. So as this game progresses, Burrito, I think, are going to start to take these wins a little bit more convincingly, similar to how we saw them do on Frog Isle. The Cauterized 2s for 3 players, though, from District 69 is they are just straight up richer right now than Burrito. They captured the payload. They got the additional 300 credits. So they are going to be having the items advantage heading into this point fight.
12% for D69 already before it begins. And that gives them a huge advantage as Burrito look to follow up. That is a Dread Serpent from Bird. They're going to slay PERDO in the process. And Thiel, he's looking for more. He's been so effective on this Makoa. 10 cents in the bank, though. Missed that hook. Ancient Rage still available, and Leminate here just throwing his knives, waiting for the perfect moment to attack yet again.
Laizy, though.
Burrito in a huge control here.
Yeah, Laizy finding pick after pick after pick in the backline. Is that 4 kills for him now? Just taking control of the game right now. No pressure for Bird on the point, 90%. Burrito cleanly captured this one. Laizy, that is a blast from the past Eevee. He's saying, you know, you want to pull out this Barrack and Ying, I'm going to pull out my old school Eevee and just take it to you. Ice block, interrupt position, he's likely to go down here.
Yeah, there's almost no way he's going to get out of that one. Unless he had the Reprieve Legendary that was coming through. And
shoutouts.
He'd be able to play that, of course, at the PTS. Right now, it's all a live client. It is all what we're used to seeing. Maeve, the new champion in Paladins, on a 13 streak and finds a conveniently served up PERDO and tries to get out of this one, but she is going to be going back to base there. eLvenpath, just too much tankiness and too much damage up close with Barrack and those turrets set up.
Laizy coming back, though. More kills for him, too, already in this engagement. eLvenpath caught out by himself. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Thiel takes him down, and this is dangerous. This is dangerous territory for D69 right now. Here's the Dragon Punch, though, to try and stabilize things. Sun Commander's going to go down. That's honestly not the best target for that Dragon Punch here. They still have plenty of damage to carry this team fight, and Burrito, with this Ruckus isolated right now, are looking to close things out and get this converted.
And the problem is they lose bugzy in the process, although respawn times will be significantly in the favor of D69. It is not looking good for them. With a minute left, the payload is inching closer and closer, and they're getting forced more and more into their base. Finally, you see the Hexifier come out. That will give him a bit of respite, and despite that, he will go down, and the damage will not be enough. Laizy has just been running rampant. He's been dismounting everyone. He's going to look to finish it off, and he will. eLvenpath on the way down.
Jeez.
Double kill for the Winter Witch, and Laizy.
This is a big game for him.
Going crazy.
This is a big game. He's a passionate guy. This is a good game for his confidence. If they're able to take this one back, they need to take this one back. They're in a good spot to take this one back. But Burrito, they need to find another win after this game, and this is huge. Laizy's a guy that can tilt. If he's not playing well, he's going to get tilted, and this is the type of game you want him to have. Bird is taking a big sigh of relief right now as he sees just kill after kill. This guy's getting it done by himself in the backline. 16-4. Is Laizy. This is old school Laizy right now, finding kills left, right, and center. Ice Storm is available as well. He's got plenty of credits from the previous round. Was able to get his Wrecker 3 as well as a Master Riding.
Oh, wow!
Just for funsies.
2 shots already takes gerrah basically out of this fight. He's easy to clean up. Laizy gonna blink in, try to find him one more time. He decides to go onto the tank, and this has just been a dominant performance, but again, no pressure onto him. They haven't focused Laizy down. He's been the one focusing them down. Thiel serving up more delicious treats on a platter, and now he's going to use the Ice Storm to just keep the player playing Ruckus there. Shipa falls to Laizy yet again. Mid-air snipes onto Androxus. He's going to soar away, but Laizy on a 9 streak continues to do what he's been doing. But maybe it's okay that they've ignored him, Nick, because it's 99%, and he goes down now, and D69 have dominated this point fight.
Just not enough. Too much bullying coming out from District 69. They take it back. Chance to tie things up here, District 69. Could they find the conversion? Didn't even need the Dragon Punch, really. The Maldamba Dread Serpent was there, but just not enough kills off of the back of it. And Burrito take a big slip up. Laizy had a good fight pretty much that whole time, but the rest of his team just couldn't find the kills on the front line.
And Burrito likes to let Laizy do his thing. They like to have him just go and do your thing, like do Laizy, and that can be effective. But the problem is when the rest of the team is fighting maybe 4v5, which was happening really. Burrito, D69 ignored Laizy. They didn't put any resources into killing him. So essentially, Laizy got damage off. But the other teammates were just fighting 4 members from Burrito, and they got the advantage and could not find enough consistent damage to really get all of those tanks off of the objective. Now Shipa and eLvenpath and squad are a minute and 37 seconds in left in this push, and they're about 80% away to making this happen. Dragon Punch coming out, that takes down Thiel. This is huge for them with eLvenpath coming back into the fight.
But Sun Commander was able to punish bugzy. The payload is inching closer and
Dome
closer
shield.
with Dome Shield available. It's probably going to come out. Big Dread Serpent, but the resilience from Barrack gets him out of that fear almost instantaneously, and still sitting on the Dome Shield. Doesn't even need it. Double kill for eLvenpath. Shout outs to Resilience.
Sponsored by Resilience. Dome Shield still available if they need to buy a little bit more time, but I know they'd like to take this into the next point fight, which they hope and believe will be their last. It could come down to this. D69, 2 ultimates on the board, a Hexafire and a Dome Shield with a Dragon Punch far away, albeit, have the chance to win this final series. And Burrito are staring defeat in the face, but they're also staring a chance at another game.
But again, they need to realize that eLvenpath has this resilience. The Dread Serpent, I don't know if it was worth using there, because that's a guy that's just going to pop out of it and continue to pump damage out almost immediately here. They have some impact ultimates, the Midnight, the Ancient Rage, and the Scout all available, so they will know exactly where District 69 is. Then they're going to take their vision away, and then they're going to send a rampaging turtle through their backline to try and carry this one out. Bird has morale boost too to try and get Dread Serpent available once again, but he's 80% off his charge right now, and District 69 have been bullying their way onto these points and taking them quick.
Laizy decides to go direct to eLvenpath and to the tanks. That's an early Dome Shield, but at least that means we'll be building up charge for the rest of the fight. Look at that nightmare on the point. No one wants to get near that, especially the low health targets like Eevee and Maeve, who both have some of the lowest health counts in the game. It's a lot of consistent damage with the turrets and with Ruckus staying alive, but it looks like Shipa's finally getting pressured by 2. Bird, Sun Commander, and Thiel are alive. This could be the end for D69, but Burrito say, no, 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 sir. It is our turn. We will not be going down without a fight.
But 60% for District 69. One more small window, and they're going to be able to punch this one through. Laizy, they cannot allow him to get any more picks right now. Shipa looks like he wants to dive onto this point. Hexafire comes out, but it's not effective at long range. He's punished. He's taken down immediately. eLvenpath is on the point, but he's all alone as well. Sun Commander standing in a gourd. So much damage coming in from left, right, and center. Burrito is holding strong.
Sun Commander stays alive. 8 streak for the sub, who was the starter. Now subbing in for the sub, who is the starter, and finding to go and get a kill onto the Androxus mid-air. Sun Commander showing he deserves to be here. He's going to get one more. The Dread Serpent comes. Double kill, looking for 3, and that should be the end of the game. Burrito with the BM, staying alive and going forward, putting this to a game number 5.
This is tight. These are tight games right now. This is not old school where Burrito is a guarantee to win anymore. District 69 have closed the gap right now. We are all tied up 2-2 here. Who's going to come out on top of this set? And this has big point implications for that first seed going into the Masters qualifiers after the Open qualifier, because right now District 69 are leading it. If they take one more first place finish, they are likely to come out with that first seed spot.
It is time for the maps for Game 5. It has come down to this. Both these teams have battled it out. And
I caught a glimpse of those stats. Laizy at almost 90,000 damage on that Eevee.
And it could be to his benefit to pick up Eevee, who is winter themed, and on the winter map Frozen Guard will be Game 5. Champion draft is ready.
As well. This is a map that District 69 dominated Burrito on in, I believe, week number 1. Was it during the finals, because they didn't see each other in week 2. So this was week 1, and District 69 dominated Burrito. Granted, I think Laizy had a really, really bad game on Eevee. So coming off with a lot of momentum on their side, maybe they look to put Burrito, but a lot is going to come down to the Kinessa pickup. When and if we see that in the draft, this is a map where it is warranted sometimes because there are long lines of sight to the point. and basically throughout the map. So definitely look for District 69, but the early Ying, again, Burrito, set some of those alarms off. They're looking at the barrack this time.
They don't take the ruckus because Burrito grabs that first. The Ying and the barrack, a very good combination, but you still got Fernando, you still got Torvald. If you take the barrack and the ruckus without the Ying, you know, it's not as enticing. It's not as exciting. It doesn't do the same amount of things, right? You could still get the area healing, but I think Maldamba is where they want to go. So yeah. I don't know if that's really where the direction would benefit them. D69 setting up this here. Burrito have the chance to counterpick. Will it be barrack? Will it be Torvald as well? It will be Shaolin. Kinessa?
Bated breath. Kinessa, it is. So, Eevee's still on the table here, but that would leave Burrito with a solo frontliner. They have the Torvald available to them. They have the Fernando, which we will see for the first time today, it feels like.
It all comes down to this.
So a lot is riding on Maeve, on Leminate, to take out Bugzy's Kinessa. And with these long lines of sights, I honestly think Eevee would have been a better one to do that.
You know, I really think that you might be right on that one. I mean, a free firing Kinessa is never going to be good, but I can see Thiel putting a lot of pressure in the back line. I think they want to keep Sun Commander on the point. I think they want to move Thiel out there, and I think they want to have Leminate do that as well. But I think that double pressure is gonna mean Bugzy's gonna have a tough game here unless he can really hit some crazy headshots. That's what we want to see here. D69, Burrito Esports, Game 5. PERDO on Cassie, Shipa on Shaolin, gerrah on Ying, eLvenpath on Makoa, and Bugzy on Kinessa.
Leminate will be playing Maeve once again. Laizy on Drogos this time. Thiel on Fernando, Sun Commander. On Ruckus and Bird playing Maldamba, going straight into the Chronos here. Wants to get that right-click spam going as much as possible. 2 master ridings, one for eLvenpath and one for Bugzy here, so they can get into favorable positions and see where exactly everyone's coming for. Bugzy, though, has spotted out Maeve and Thiel, who are making the case to try and get up in his face, not letting him free fire onto their Ruckus.
Tunnel vision already. He knows that he's starting to take some damage. He wants to know from where is the damage being taken. Burrito already on the objective, though, and that is what's so huge about this.
God.
They've got 60%, Nick. They've won the first fight. That's it. There has been no fight, and they've already won it. 70% now. There's almost zero chance that D69 can come in here and make a huge impact unless they all move now and keep this zone better than we've ever seen with these two teams. It's possible, but it is a tall task ahead taking this type of lineup, and with 87% and counting on the objective, it just looks like a far cry for D69 to have an impact on this objective here. Gerrah goes down, but Thiel's still alive.
Elvin's back. Elvin's back on the point, but for how long? Bugzy is free firing right now, so this could turn off the back of this Kinessa play. Thiel takes Shipa down with him. The Ruckus is here, but so much damage coming in from this long-range Kinessa. Burrito have to find an answer for Bugzy.
They've got to finish off the Dragon. Here's the Headhunter. He's already activated the ultimate. This will buy them some time, but they need eLvenpath here, and this is where Kinessa can contribute to the team. If he can get Drogos, if he can get Maeve out of these fights beforehand, but there's Thiel, like I mentioned, the aggression coming forward, and there is, look at the dodge there, the bounce. Fantastic stuff coming out from Bugzy to stay alive still, and he finishes Sun Commander. The Dread Serpent buys them enough time as they're forced to walk off the point, and it ends up giving the point to Burrito. Great shots by Laizy. Double kill for him.
They need to find an answer, I think, late game into this Kinessa, though. Thiel did a good job there. Just that small little window that he gave his team in combination with the Dread Serpent, Burrito was able to find that final percentage point and get the conversion going on the payload here now. Long range shots coming on to Laizy. He's going to be in a rough spot here as soon as eLvenpath comes around the corner. Picks up the hook, but doesn't find the kill just yet.
And there's going to be the same amount of pressure coming out from Kinessa in these long lines of sight, perhaps even more on the push and the defense, which is where she brings a lot to the table. But on that point fight, it is definitely going to be, I think, advantage for Burrito. And this Midnight, this is going to be dangerous. They've got 2 snipers who want to hide out, stick in the back lines. Great impale by Shipa, but Leminate will still pick up the kill. PERDO there to follow things up. And he's going to have to get into these fights and really cause some action. There's a Headhunter pop, but they're just moving. They're moving behind. All 3 of them working together as a unit. Bird keeping them nice and healthy. Bugzy misses 1 shot on, he misses 2 now on the Laizy, and that's crucial. Minute and 20 seconds left. Burrito are almost there. Dragon Punch coming through. Looking to find one. Finds it. Bugzy goes down finally. Impale from Shipa, but Laizy will stay alive. Hit the fire spin, and boy, this is all Burrito.
That is a beautiful mechanical play, honestly, from Drogoz here. This Laizy's not someone who traditionally plays it, inching closer and closer. The payload is converted, and Burrito go up 2-0, but that corner bang fire spit onto the Shaolin just to force him away into a rough spot was actually beautiful. I'm very impressed with Laizy's Drogoz thus far, and Leminate's Mave is going to be the key here. The use of these Midnights to be able to get into the backline onto Bugzy, onto Shipa, onto Cassie, who are just have no follow-up. They are content to stay at range forever and just free fire. That's the key here for Burrito to break those lines of sights, get this Mave into the face of Kinessa, get Thiel into the face of Kinessa, and not have them trade half their health for the process.
If I am Burrito right now, I'm feeling so confident in our lineup. I feel so good about this. They've got to play lights out. Kinessa's got to kill 4 of us, really, for I think her to have an impact in this fight. And we're just so tanky though. We're getting healed up by Maldaba. Bird's so good at staying alive. I just am not feeling the pressure. And eLvenpath, unlike other maps where it's so close, everyone's together, not as easy to follow up on those hooks that he's been getting. Bugzy often just focused on other things, and one rocket from Laizy already puts Bugzy under pressure, and he's not staring at the point. And they just can't stand there because there's too much damage. And man, great transporter by Bugzy. It looks like he will take Laizy out of the skies with that aggressive play. And this is a new D69. Bugzy stopping being in the back, comes forward and is like, let me take this into my own hands.
It seems like a very clear solution though for Burrito. Just kill Kinessa and you're good to go. There's a Dread Serpent on the backline just to try and keep Bird safe. And you can see the rest of Burrito shifting around to try and help him. Gerrah is free capping the point right now. District 69 already have 85%.
And now Thiel still with the shield up. eLvenpath with the Ancient Rage. He's going to pop the Immortal, and that's a Hexafire combo. One of the best ones we've seen in the game. It's going to keep them alive, and they live as a result of that. eLvenpath and Bugzy go down, and that was an incredible combination of ultimate timing by your boys from Burrito.
That's flawless wombo combo right there. And then Bird and the boys somehow stay alive after being so low. They were sub 1500 HP coming out of that Immortal, and somehow, some way, maybe there was pressure on the backline we didn't see, but no further damage came through. eLvenpath goes down. Thiel and Ruckus both stay alive.
3-0 is the score. You may look at this and see a big disadvantage for D69 and their potential to affect this game. Because they have to do it so much from range and they just don't have the point pressure to contend. Makoa is a great frontal tank, but when he's faced off with the Maldamba, with the Fernando, with the Ruckus, and tandem with some really good area pressure like the Drogoz and incredible just consistent damage from Maeve, it is very, very hard for him to stay on there and not back off and give them those early point fight points, Nick.
Pressuring out this Kinessa now finds one more knife. Horses are in the spawn. Headhunter's still going strong right now. Laizy's here. They're shutting down the problem. It was very easy to identify, right, for us. And now Burrito starting to catch on, finding these angles, prioritizing Bugzy in these team fights, shutting him down, not letting him free fire onto their team as Wolves did in the semifinals, and just finding the kills. And as soon as Bugzy falls down, so much of the team fight falls with him.
And there's a lot to be said about the way that Leminate's been playing as well, hitting a lot of great shots. eLvenpath doing his best as the front tank here, and there is not a lot that gerrah can do in response. He's by himself. He and Bugzy have to force down. This is the dire straits that D69 have been placed into, but they are going to kill Thiel. That means that Shipa with a double kill, Bugzy in that last-ditch effort, and now all of D69, 5 together, will have 50 seconds to stall this out. 50 seconds to come up with a miracle answer and save their team, save this composition, and maybe save these finals.
Burrito are holding all the chips right now. They almost have their ultimates charged back up. They need one small team fight window here to punch this one through. They have the Midnight, has been popped right now. They're heading straight for Bugzy, taking him out. As soon as he can't even transport it. He's taking the damage. The Payload is pushing in. Midnight is so good. There is nothing. D69 don't even know where the Payload is at that point. They don't even know where they need to go defend.
Yeah, you can't even step on it. I mean, you know, I don't know. There's there's an incredible performance there by Burrito to finish things off at 69. Well played throughout that entire match. And Set, you're the final stats. It's breaking them down.
51,000 damage for bugzy, 58,000 for Shipa, almost 50k for PERDO, but they just started to get pressured out more and more. 4 of those deaths on bugzy came in the last probably 2-3 minutes of that game. He was just uncontested for the first point. It made it difficult. You know, Burrito, I think we're lucky to come out on top, or to come out with 99%.
Yeah.
Because that puts you in a spot where you can force these overtimes, and then District 69 have to kind of collapse. You saw the collapse almost come through there, but somehow Shipa with the double kill was able to pull it out. But D69 in the end, the Leminate Mave, those Midnights were so impactful for shutting down those long lines of sights. And this is a pick that I think is going to start to hold more value on maps like Timber Mill, on maps like Frozen Guard, like we just saw, where Kinessa is really a problem. Now, that's how Mave is going to be, I think, a better counter than Eevee in a lot of cases to Kinessa, because just that vision is so important to Kinessa players as flankers are approaching. And Burrito with the 4-0, the most dominant win of the series on that final map, and they are able to take a small 20-point lead. So this one's going to come down to week number 4, who takes first seed in that Masters qualifiers section.
Interlopers have found themselves again with 110 points. Get light. And Wolves kind of fighting out for 4th there.
Yeah.
Which will be very interesting, unless another team can come through and make maybe a top 4, you know, type of experience. Maybe even a top 2. Man, we didn't expect interlopers.
We only have 1 more week of these open bracket qualifiers, so the first 2 seeds are obviously going to be mathematically Burrito and D69. But the pack here, it could be an upset, right? We've seen Burrito fall in the semis. There is still room for somebody to make a path here into the top 4. We are taking the top 4 teams out of this section of the qualifying path into the next section, which will be the Masters qualifiers.
And when that happens, those 4 teams will play in their own kind of secularized, you know, just basically own little weekend league format, whereas other teams will have a chance to compete in open brackets again and kind of face up and rise up in a gauntlet opportunity to really get themselves to the LAN, which will be really cool. 2 of the teams that qualify at the highest level in that closed off kind of Masters League will qualify for the LAN. And again, the gauntlet opportunity will be there for the teams who still want to compete. Maybe you weren't here now, maybe you didn't sign up for this one, but you want to do it in the next couple of weeks. You will have that chance. So stay tuned to our Paladins Esports website. Stay tuned to here so you can take a look and watch what's happening. We'll give you the news and updates. Nick, we've got a lot of other good things happening. Again, if you're not interested in esports, you just want to play the regular game, Legendaries were announced. It's going to be an exciting time, and I can tell you it's the Wild Wild West out there. I played this morning. I'll be going and playing again tonight. Join me out there. Join us on here. It is a fun time. You get to try out every Legendary for free and see which ones you like, see which ones you're going to invest your gold into, your crystals into, when it comes live this week, this upcoming week. And I mean,
there's never been a better time to get involved. The meta's shaken up right now. It's already up in the air in terms of the picks that we're seeing today. The PTS, the Legendaries, are only going to come and make that more the case. So if you're looking to get in Paladins competitive, now is the time. You know, these are when, I know, Burrito in the coming weeks, I don't know that they're going to know what they want to be doing in the draft here, as the Legendaries are just throwing everyone for a loop. They're a blast, and we hope to see you on the PTS until Tuesday this time. We're going for a long PTS cycle this time.
It will be a long one, and I'm sure you'll catch your favorite streamers streaming all these cool games on there and all that stuff. We hope to see you around. Remember, forums.paladinsgame.com. You can find that. And, of course, if you want to stay tuned for tomorrow, we've got North America and all this coming up. Stay tuned. Matchpoint and Eager. Actually, not Matchpoint anymore. Xenocy. We've got a lot of other teams. It's just so – talk about the Wild West.
Yeah, NA's a mess right now.
It's a clown fiesta. I'm just kidding. I love my NA players. We'll see you guys tomorrow for NA, 3 p.m. Eastern time, same place. And as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all next time.